I've already complained there's no ice. So.
No champagne either.
Yeah. Where's the button for the TV?
Testing 1 2, testing 1 2.
Hölgyeim és uraim, tisztelt szurkolóink, 10 perc múlva kezdődik a C csoport első mérkőzése a mai napon. Hölgyeim és uraim, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise! Scratching zajt és szurkoljuk a lányoknak! Hands in the air! Latvia and Croatia fans! Come on! Let's go!
It's game day 2 of the EuroBasket Women 2015 final round. Two teams hopeful of a place in the second phase, both suffering huge disappointment on the opening day. It makes this game all the more important. Croatia and Latvia looking to bounce back this afternoon. A very warm welcome to the Arena Savaria from me, Tim Long, alongside former Great Britain women's head coach Mark Clark. The historic city of Szombathely is the setting for Group C of the final round. 5 of the 20 remaining teams looking for European glory on display in the oldest city in Hungary. Well, up first here today, injury-ravaged Croatia taking on Latvia, both handsomely beaten by Russia and Serbia respectively yesterday. Shortly after the conclusion of this game, it's Russia back in action after that blowout opening day win, taking on Great Britain, who've had to wait an extra day to get their tournament started. This highly competitive group then got underway yesterday. Fourth favourite Serbia defeating Latvia by 16 after a closely fought first half. And in the later game, fifth favourites Russia rubbing salt in those Croatian wounds with a 21-point win as the Croat injury list continued to grow. GB yet to play, as we've seen, take on Russia this evening. Well, first up here on game day 2 of the EuroBasket Women 2015 final round, it's Croatia with their dramatically depleted roster against all the odds as they face a Latvian team hoping to recapture the tenacity of their first half showing in game 1. All the action from the Arena Savaria in Szombathely, Hungary, with me, Tim Long, alongside former GB women's head coach Mark Clark.
Wow. Afternoon, Tim, and this Latvian team is just going out with the player introductions. Have injury problems of their own, as Jakobsone didn't play a lot of minutes yesterday. The news is she has a slight ankle turn. This is a game they must win if they have aspirations to make the second round. Obviously, the other real downside of their performance yesterday with Agneta Stomberger only playing for 7 minutes after failing out in the first quarter. Coaching staff said they really didn't set yesterday's game up with the option to win it because it was Serbia. But this put so much pressure on them today to get the win. And it's about their scoring balance. They're so dominated by three-point shot yesterday. They really do need some production inside the keyway. They're going to face a Croatian team, and it's one of those scenarios when you're in that coaching scenario when you've only got 8 players to choose from. Sometimes that, if ever it is an easy job, it makes it slightly easier. You don't have those options. You've got to try and get the best out of the 8 players you can. And just going through your shot there, Eva Cigar responded beautifully yesterday with a real big performance. And her combination with Aya Slickovic really did give the Croatians some hope. But this lady going out right through shot there, Luka Ivankovic, will have so much size advantage on the inside. When she plays, Croatia have to give her the ball, and she needs to want it. If that happens, they're going to put pressure on this Latvian team.
Both teams introduced to the fans here in this arena. It is now time for the 2 national anthems, starting with Latvia.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand up for the national anthem.
And welcome along on game day 2 of EuroBasket Women 2015. Croatia and Latvia both looking to get their campaigns back on track here in Szombathely, Hungary. Former Great Britain women's head coach Mark Clark alongside me, Tim Long. Mark, how important is this game, given the loser will fall to 0-2?
Well, if the loser goes to 0-2, they've got to come up with 2. They've got 4 games here. They've got to win both to have a real chance to progress. We see the 3rd team on the floor with the officials from Poland, Italy and Portugal. Officiating standard yesterday was right out the top drawer. And all the coaches agreed that we didn't even know they were out there, which is always the best way to refer to officials. But Croatia in particular, they face this game, and then they play Great Britain in the last game of the tournament in this round. They really desperately need to get a win here. If they can get a win here, they've got time to perhaps get more rest into Jelena Ivkovic, because she's actually walking around courtside. There's part of me that thinks maybe they could have taped her up and got her out there. But this Latvian roster did show yesterday both its strength and its weakness. Its strength being its ability to shoot the ball, its weakness being its lack of production on the inside, with the exception of Christine Vitola, who had an enormous 16 rebounds yesterday. Here's the starting lineup. The best news, if you're one of the Latvian fans in the gym, is Jakobsone starts, and her combination with Basko is going to be vital for this Latvian team, although they were so 3-point happy yesterday. I do think they need a little bit more balance, and Vitola on the inside, and Steinberger needs to repay this team for the way that she fouled out yesterday. Must-win game for Latvia. This Croatian roster, it doesn't get any worse, or can't get any worse for him. Todoric is on the sideline in plaster. She'll take no part in the rest of the competition. But as I say, he's a bit, with the injury, he's walking around, almost think they could have kitted her up just to see. But Luka Ivankovic is the key for this Croatian team. She won't play enormous minutes, she never does. She's got to get double-figure points and double-figure rebounds, and she's got the size and the skill to do that if she wants the basketball.
The top 20 teams in women's European basketball here at the EuroBasket final round. The top 5 will make the Olympics qualifying tournament for Rio 2016. Einars Zvergsdinj there would have hopes of getting that far perhaps for Latvia, but so tough after those opening day defeats for both him and Bruslav Turic, who's having to deal with that lengthy injury list as well. Mark, how far can these two go in this tournament?
Well, the interesting thing to always highlight is that these are long tournaments. Last 2 years ago in France, Serbia lose their first 2 games, become a semi-finalist, came close to making the final. Out of these 2 teams, if Croatia get to the second round, that'll be their final almost, with the injuries issues and the missing players. Latvia are one of those teams that on any given night, they could really get hot from the perimeter and could surprise and get an upset. 1 or 2 upsets, you're in the quarterfinals. You're in the quarterfinals, one-off games. So Latvia could go deep into this tournament. I just think they need more balance in their scoring.
And it's 2 nations who found out yesterday just how tough this group is going to be. There's little room for error now for both Croatia and Latvia, with the deck stacked against them. Who will rise to the challenge in Game 2 to put themselves right back in the mix for the second phase? Myself, Tim Long, alongside former GB Women's head coach Mark Clark, all set to talk you through the action here in Szombathely, Hungary.
Well, you got the number there, number 12, Steinberger. At this level, with that experience from a coaching perspective and her playing experience, to foul out in the way she did is surprising. Let's just call it surprising. And I'm sure with the career she's had as an international player, she's hurting inside. I expect her to come with a big, big performance for this Latvian team. And that could be the spark they need in terms of where they get their points from.
And that's a player coming off the back of a fantastic season for a club side, reaching the Euro Cup final with Castor's Brain, who is coached by the national team coach Einars Zvergsdinj as well. And she had 14.3 points per game in that tournament. How much they could do with that kind of output here on the international stage. And it is Latvia who win the opening tip, and that is the way for Anate Steinberger to get started.
Wow. Jakobsoni just gave it a ball, and Steinberger just head down, said, I'm getting this, and took it strong to the basket. Tough finish. I'd be really surprised if Croatia don't come out really relaxed, free here to try and play. They've almost got a green light as players. That's where they need to get the ball.
First chance for them taken on by Ivankovic, unable to make it inside. Latvia come with a 3-on-1 opportunity here and will double their advantage. Very cool play from Dita Rosenberger.
Wow, Luka Ivankovic's got to stop looking at the official. She may have been fouled, may not have been fouled. But in that scenario, it's a 2+1, not a missed shot. She shouldn't be looking for the official there. She's got the talent to knock it down.
Siglar out to the outside. Wide open 3 is way too long. They're able to grab it, though. Still can't force it up and in. It's out of bounds for Croatia ball.
Well, look at Ivankovic again, looking at the official. Again, she may well have been fouled. Let's have a look. Yeah, she was fouled. Yeah, there was a little contact on the way up. Again, it's got to be 2+1.
Very nearly picking the ball off there was Steinberger, who certainly seems to have come out wanting to send a message, wanting to respond to that disappointment of yesterday.
She can't pick up those little silly fouls again. Sideline, didn't have a chance to really steal it, and still wants to get after it.
Mila Glav. And chance now for Mazic to get into the paint. Has to go back out. This is Siglar. Game high 17 points for her yesterday. And that will be a shot clock violation. Ivankovic unable to get it up towards the rim.
Croatia, they've struggled a little bit, but they've got the ball where they need to get the ball. They've penetrated, they've broken down the defense, a little bit more composure. They're getting the ball into areas where they need to get the ball. Just have to have that composure and actually complete plays.
I think Ivankovic has taken 3 shots on already. She only took 4 in the whole game yesterday.
Well, she really does. She's just got to finish. She's going to have a big advantage in there, and they really do need to milk that.
Latvia looking to extend their lead at the start here with Steinberger again. Back out for the 3 for Jakobsone. Unable to hit it. Rebound grabbed by Miloglav. She's looking to penetrate straight away. Back out to Siglar on the near side, then back inside again. She'll take a shot on here. Unable to get it to go again, Ivankovic.
Well, again, great position. Just got to finish.
She's taken as many shots in the opening 2 minutes as she took in the entire game yesterday. And Latvia will extend their lead.
Well, that was a little too easy, Jakobsone. Look how much time she gets as she gets to the foul line, stops and pops, and just knocks that one down. Nice start for Latvia.
Led the team with 11 points yesterday against Serbia. Jakobsone, 4 of 9 from the field, but only played 13 minutes. Sat for most of the second half. Siglar with the entry pass underneath the basket again. They'll keep trying that option, but Ivankovic just can't get anything to go.
Well, again, she made a nice cut. She gets it. And she just has to go through that contact. She's trying to take little fade away. Wait, look at that. She's off balance going away from the basket. She doesn't have to rush. No one's going to block her. She can take as long as she wants to get the shot away.
Here she is again. Going to have another shot. This time she'll earn a trip to the line.
And this is where I thought she might have the issue. I thought that Latvia would just use their fouls a little intelligently and keep sending Luka Ivankovic to the free throw line. She's not one of the best free throw shooting big players around Europe. Yesterday she was pretty much to average. But this is where I thought the only way at times I think that Latvia can stop her getting the ball is if they foul her. But if she keeps missing, don't foul her.
5 points yesterday, 2 of 4 from the field. She had 13.8 points per game in qualifying last summer. A key player for them, 5.5 rebounds as well.
She makes both free throws, so if she has, it doesn't matter where she gets them from. She's getting they're getting a lot of touches. That's the most important thing. She's seen a lot of the ball.
Played in by Jakobsone, who gets it back on the perimeter from Steinberger. Now she's wide open for the 3. Wonderfully played between the two, and Latvia lead by 7 early on.
That's very smart by Steinberger, stepping outside. Gets Jankovic caught under the hoop, so she has lots of time and space.
Steinberger has 5 of Latvia's 9 points. Siglar trying to dance her way through. Can't get it to drop, though. Out of bounds, still going to be Croatia ball.
Well, you see the issue for Latvia. We talked about their balanced scoring. They really don't have an out-and-out big to really take care of the defensive end on the glass as well. And the Ivankovic, who's not the most mobile offensive rebounder, he's just causing havoc in there at the moment. But in saying all that, it's still a 9-2 start for Latvia.
And Einor's Zvigsdinj still doesn't look too happy. His team have started well in the opening 3 minutes. Croatia trying to cut into that 7-point Latvian advantage. It's another miss inside the paint. They'll get a second chance still. And third time lucky perhaps still won't go for Mirna Mazic, but she will get a chance to take 2 from the foul line. Foul is on Zenta Melnika. Mazic, one of the most experienced players at this level in the Croatian team. 7 points and 4 assists yesterday, but she was just 1 of 12 from the field.
And I think the move she made there sums up. Really nice move, great fake, step through, got a little really great look, and then just didn't complete. Mazic is the player with Slicevic coming off the bench. With Siglar, those 3 should need to combine on the perimeter to tick the scoreboard over, while Ivankovic really does need to contribute on the inside. They've got the options here, Croatia. They just don't have a lot of depth.
3.5 minutes played. Croatia still waiting for their first field goal of the game. All 4 points coming from the line. Now there's a delayed stoppage to the game here as Latvia came up court. The officials having to clarify something. 5 of the 9 Latvian points from Steinberger. who only lasted 7 minutes, picking up 5 fouls yesterday. And a great response from her, and Braslav Turic could do with a similar type of response to the players that had disappointing games for his team yesterday. Foul here is on Ruzita Jankic.
I think it's a nice move to get Jankic into the game early in terms of starting with her. She's one of those players that they're looking for someone's fearless to just play. She might be the answer.
3 missed in the end by Gunter Bashko. Jakobsone had the chance to take it on herself, chose to move the ball on. Here's Siglar. Throwing it over the top this time of Ivankovic. They keep trying to go to the number 14, but it's just not working right now.
Gunter Bashko, of all her experience, went 1 from 6 from the three-point line. I think she'd be much more effective slashing to the basket, just using her athleticism against this slightly slower Croatian lineup.
Jakobsone puts it up and puts it in with a foul as well.
I didn't think the foul was on the shooter. He was going to... Yeah, quite right. The referees saw on the foul. The shot was away. It's on the sideline. But Jakobsone's the veteran. She was looking for that extra point. Cigar can't afford to be in foul trouble. If Cigar sits down, well, just pack up and go home if you're Croatia. She needs, probably, if they're going to have a chance to win this game, needs to go for 40 minutes.
Jakobsone going to take another one on. Can't hit this time. Offensive ball grabbed by Steinberger, though, and then good defense that time from Ivankovic. Went out of bounds for Latvia ball.
And that's the other end of Ivankovic that can really help this Croatian team. They've got to try and move her a little bit, but she's just going to dominate around the ring.
Jakobsone on the perimeter again, going to put it up just inside. Hit one like that a few moments ago, can't this time. Another offensive ball for Steinberger. Bashko's going to have a go this time. And another miss, but decent looks for Latvia.
That's so much better from Mazic as well. Really went after it defensively for Croatia on the glass.
Jankic, the 20-year-old, finding a route into the paint again. And it's yet another miss for Ivankovic, who will keep trying and trying.
They've just got, someone has to, Ivankovic will be looking at the official. She'll be looking for some help. All she has to do is take more time. No one's going to check her. No one's going to go out there and block her. There's no one out there for Latvia to do it. Just take your time, get really balanced, and then get the shot you want. Mazic gets repaid for some hard work on the glass. She picks up another foul, and Latvia already in the penalty with half the quarter to go.
And this is what Croatia need, because all their points have been from the foul line so far. Mina Mazic looking to add to a couple that she's had from the stripe already. Can't take that one, so 2 of 3 from the line now for Mazic. Croatia still waiting almost at the halfway point of this first quarter for their first field goal. Second one good, so 3 points for Mazic. And the deficit for Croatia is 6. Jakobsone. Off the screen is put Nina. Again, it's a good look, but a long 2. Going down there is Rosenberger. Opportunity for Siglar out to the outside now for Jankic, unable to hit. Offensive ball, though, grabbed by Mazic, who forces it in. Over 5 minutes without a field goal. They finally end that drought.
Well, Mazic is one of those players that wouldn't have been a leading player, wouldn't have been a player looking to take responsibility on this Croatian team. They would have been one of the supporting role players. It's amazing. Get one good thing, a little bit of work on the glass, couple of free throws, then she's all of a sudden making more of a contribution. And they found Sliskovic yesterday, maybe it's Mazic today. And Croatia, for all their misses, down 4. You almost have a nice feel about the way they're playing at the moment.
1 of 13 from the field. Missed their first 12 shots here, but only down by a couple of possessions. Bashko getting into the paint, trying to meander a way through. Wide open on the near side for a 2, no good for Putnina. Croatia can close that gap even further now. And again, Siglar with that wonderful move towards the rim. Back-to-back field goals, and they are within 2.
That's a beautiful move by Siglar. Really just sliced the defense, gets to the far side of the ring, so the ring protects her from any block. And then Latvia throw it straight away. And it's tough for Latvia coming into this game. They've looked at the injury, especially the injury to Ivzovic, and then we think, yeah, we'll be fine. But Croatia have come out with much more purpose today, much more of a game plan that looks like they're going to find a way to get these players to contribute. Nice move.
Wonderfully done for Croatia from Carmen Miloglav, and they are level from 7 down. Latvia on a drought of their own now. Jakobsoni deflected away, and Croatia could come and take the lead here. Jankic looking to go all the way, and does, and Latvia will be forced to call timeout. What a run from Croatia to turn this first quarter on its head. From 7 down, they lead 13-11.
Please welcome to the court, Westside Shofaro.
Well, Mark, Croatia missed their first 12 shots. They've hit 4 in a row.
Well, the thing that we kept saying, they were taking pretty decent shots, and they had good looks. Now, they got some points in transition off their defense, which, in terms of evaluating this game, I didn't see them getting a lot of points off their defense in this game, but some players look like they've grown into the situation, especially Miloglav looks comfortable out there now. And I don't think teams can say things, we're going to take a game off, we don't think we can win. That's where I think Latvia may have made a mistake in the way they looked at yesterday's game.
Good movement around the perimeter, at least until that pass from Eglite, well off the mark. And right off the timeout, Arnars Vergstinge won't be too happy.
Well, Croatia just playing one-on-one. There's no one needing to help too much. There's not enough inside options, no post-ups that Latvia go to. So they're literally matching up one-on-one on the perimeter, and Latvia at the moment aren't able to break them down.
It's Miloglav with the ball right now. Back to Mazic, taken off her by Siglar. Looking to get free. Mazic going to come to try and create a nuisance of herself on the perimeter. Siglar gets inside. Is there a basket coming up here for Ivankovic? Still no, but they maintain it, have to put it up from way outside. Very nearly banked in and then grabbed on the rebound by Jankic.
All the efforts now, it's all Croatian effort, because you've got Jankic on the glass. Jankic at 181, out-rebounding everybody. And they're just looking like they're making things happen for themselves yesterday. When we saw them yesterday, there was almost a resigned or a resignation about the way they played. And because of the way the game has gone, and they've had that plan of going inside, there's purpose, and they really are putting a nice quarter together. The tough thing is with this, at this level, doing it for 4 quarters with depleted resources is going to be a very tough ask for them. Love the way Siglar's playing, though. She's one of the players that looks like she's really taken on great leadership for this team.
Able to get that one to go. She was 7 of 8 from the foul line yesterday, en route to those 17 points. Croatia now lead by 3. Here's Steinberger. Such a positive start from her, but she's tailed off slightly and gets back going there, and Latvia needed that basket. They had gone a few minutes without a score.
Well, you take Ivankovic out the middle, and the middle becomes a little more open. That's a great job by, well, they're going to call it offensively, which is, referee's got a much better angle than I've got. Sliškovic is going to get called for a hold and a hook. But when Ivankovic was in the middle, no one could get down the middle for the Latvians and penetrate. It's great to see Steinberger doing it. They need that balance in scoring.
Kate Aizila moved on then by Laxa. Laxa again, feet on the line, that's a 2. And Latvia have a couple of baskets in a row.
Well, that should have been in the scout for Croatia. That little way she flares off the screen and the screen just holds the help side in. Got to switch that.
Siglar, Mazic now. This is Jankic. They'll try a 3. That one's certainly behind the perimeter. It's good for Croatia and for Eva Siglar, who now has 6.
Wow, Siglar really is stepping up. She will go for 40 minutes here if Croatia are in this. Such a big game for Croatia. This will keep alive their group hopes all the way to the final day if they get the win here.
Laxa from a couple of feet beyond the line, can't answer back, took the shot on quickly.
That's just the good and the bad of Latvian basketball as such. Laska so early in the set, so early in the offense, takes a 3 from 2-3 steps outside the three-point line, and then they foul on the, and then we walk down the floor and shoot free throws. Yeah, it is the way they play. They stay with what's good, but that's far. They'll get that shot at any stage in the shot clock. They don't need to take it after 1 or 2 passes.
Siglar back to the line. And after those 17 points against Russia yesterday, already 7 and quite possibly 8 here now in the first quarter. Croatia have weathered an early storm and they've composed themselves. They've come back strong and they lead by 4 again. Laxa. Nice little pass from Eglite. The ball out of bounds though. Latvia struggling at the moment.
Well, the help was good. They really did read that, and the help side came very quickly to help. And now Latvia, when your offense isn't working, you can get out and change your defense and extend it. Try and change the shape of the game. Exactly what they're trying to do at the moment with the full court pressure.
Sliškovic. Now Siglar. Those are the 2 players that combined for big points yesterday. Jankic trying to get it into Sliškovic, knocked away. Now here come Latvia on the break. Steinberger bumped into and fouled by Siglar.
Foul number 10, Eva Siglar, her 2nd personal foul.
Eva Siglar a második hibáját követte el.
Anate Steinberger at the line. Looking to add to her 7 points, can't with the first. Had 8 points per game and 6.3 rebounds a game at the final round in France a couple of years ago. And she's got 8 here in this first quarter now, after going scoreless, being fouled out yesterday.
Well, that's exactly what the Latvian pressure wants to get Croatia a little bit disorganized, a little bit trying to go too quickly. And right from the inbound pass, they never really were in control of what they were trying to come down the floor and run, and they get the turnover. This looks like it's gonna be one of those really, nip and tuck games throughout. Little runs either way, momentum swings.
Aizila inside, almost got stuck under Vitola. Back out to the perimeter. They really needed that one, Latvia, and it's Steinberger who steps up to the plate again.
Well, another. It's making life a little easy, too easy for Croatia at the moment. Another trip to the free throw line, another 2 free throws because of the half-court foul. It's tough enough without giving teams the opportunity to get to the free throw line and make what should be an 80% attempt at the hoop.
Carmen Miloglav with this chance to restore Croatia's lead after that 3 for Latvia got them level. 23 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
Well, 12 trips to the line for Croatia in this first quarter. Only 2 for Latvia. And a lot of those have been mid-court fouls.
Shot clock turned off, of course, now. Latvia should hold it for the final shot. They'll take one on early instead and miss it. So now Croatia have the opportunity. Plenty of time left on the clock as well to move the ball up court. And Siglar's fast two, out to the perimeter for three. Wouldn't go down on that occasion for Iva Borovic. It is Croatia, though, who have a slender lead at the end of one. They lead 20-19, led by the 8 from Iva Siglar.
Well, at the moment, Tim, this Latvian team are really making it a little easy for Croatia. I know it's only a one-point game, but that last possession sums it up. They had the chance to keep the ball, to make sure they get the last shot. They take it with 8 seconds left. And it wasn't a wide open look, it's a long two. And to be fair, Croatia unfortunately missed the open three, and the fouls that Latvia have committed mid-court have enabled Croatia not only to get back in the game, but to lead. They started the game so poorly, and it's been Latvia who have allowed them to come back into the game and have given them the momentum that believes. Now Croatia in that huddle believing they can win this game.
Ivankovic, we saw her taking on loads of shots in the paint. She was getting in good positions, as we've said. 0 of 6 from the field, but getting into those positions.
Absolutely.
Having to be double teamed, space on the perimeter as well, and forcing foul trouble.
Yeah, and I think if you're Croatia now, you think, well, Luka Ivankovic is a good player. She's played EuroLeague basketball. She's had reasonable numbers at that level. She's not going to miss those shots for the whole game. So on top of the lapses that Latvia have had, Croatia will be very, very positive about going back inside to Ivankovic. She won't miss those shots. Stats never lie. Over a season, she's going to shoot a better percentage than she's shot so far. That's what she'll bring as this game develops. The other thing it'll do when Ivankovic comes in is it'll free up Sliskovic from that mid-range area that she was very effective yesterday. Croatia depleted resources, but you have to say, if it was a boxing match, they've won the first round on points.
Well, we did fear the worst for Croatia, given their injury problems, but they lead at the end of one. The slenderest of possible leads, but they look healthy. We wondered how they might come into this. There were maybe a few heads dropped and almost a feeling that the world was against them after the game yesterday. And they've come into this with a really positive attitude and certainly believe they can get the win. Sliskovic up against Steinberger, able to roll away and gets that one to drop.
Nice moves. As she's running the 4, she can play Steinberger one-on-one with Jankovic taking up the 5 spot, and there's a little opportunity for Sliskovic. Nice inside combo for Croatia at the moment.
Jakob Sonne, the pass was a little off the mark and Steinberger couldn't reel it in.
Wow. 26 seconds in. Take the timeout. It's your second timeout of the half. This is a gamble by the Latvian team. If Croatia could get momentum now, they've got no recourse to a timeout. 24 seconds into the quarter. And maybe that was a overreaction to the situation, perhaps. Great coach. But it's a big call to take the timeout right now. I don't know what's changed. I don't know what's changed in those 24 seconds that lead to taking the timeout. This knows his time, knows his team, so therefore that's not a criticism in any way, shape or form. He's taking a calculated, I hope it's a calculated decision to take the timeout. He's done for timeouts for the half. Croatia gets some momentum. It really could be a big call when we come back and review this game. I hope he proves me wrong because he's a good coach. And his team, if they respond in the right way, could really come out and get some momentum themselves. It's a calculated decision.
Well, let's see what the response is to that timeout. Only seconds into the second quarter. Croatia looking to extend their lead. And there's a foul on Steinberger.
Sliskovic again just causing havoc in that defense. A little switch occurred, and in that situation, Iglite had to foul, and so Sliskovic scores, draws a foul, and Latvia have taken the timeout. It's a great start for Croatia.
Just about kept in play here by Miloglav, and then on by Borovic. Siglar, who can go through the gears pretty quickly, and stopped by Steinberger, who did very well indeed.
Well, I've only got 2 seconds on the shot clock. Wouldn't be surprised if Ivankovic just tries to get herself open underneath, and they just lob it to her. They don't. Well, they throw up the prayer.
Awkward shot for Slišković, and Latvia now can come and try and close the gap with Jakobsone. Unable to do so, grabbed by Ivankovic. Now here's Miloglav. Player down in the paint is Steinberger for Latvia. Quickly in towards Slišković, who's going to try and take advantage and is able to bank it in.
Wow, someone didn't watch the game yesterday. Slišković in the first half was incredibly effective for Croatia, but only going to her right hand. And Russia yesterday just said, hey, you want to make a shot? Make it with your left one, go the other way. That's both times now they've let her work to the inside, just takes the little jump hook. That's like candy from a baby time for her at this level. This Latvian team at the moment, there's some danger signs now for them. They could really dig themselves a hole in this second quarter. The only thing they have is they have great scoring potential from the perimeter, so they could shoot themselves back into it. That's not a way to keep the grey hair away.
Well, Slišković, 12 points against Russia yesterday. 5 of 9 from the field, but scoreless in the second half. They figured her out.
Yep.
Here's Steinberger, wide open on the perimeter, is able to get the three to drop. How about this from Steinberger? 14 points of Latvia's 22.
That's how to respond to yesterday's fouling out.
Siglar driving under the rim. They'll try and respond with the three of their own off the mark for Miloglav, and Jakobsone able to bring it forward and tipped away.
I think Luka Ivankovic might get a little bit more love from the officials if she doesn't bark at them on every single. Again, she looked at the official. She was just boxed out. She's going to be so important. She's just got to stay focused on performing.
Jakobsone puts it up short from her and grabbed by Ivankovic for a rebound.
That's what she has to do, own the glass at both ends.
Siglar and towards Slišković, trying to roll her opposite number again. Still looking for a route up towards the rim off the side of the backboard, couldn't quite get the angles right.
Much better by Steinberger. She took away the option to get past the going right, so she's learnt from the last play.
Here's Laxer wide open for three. Another miss from downtown for Latvia. Slišković up against Steinberger again, who does well once again.
Foul number 14, Luca Ivankovic for first time.
She certainly has learned.
Ez volt az első pontja.
Subs Latvia, number 22, America.
So the interesting thing in many aspects of the game here, with Croatia really trying to go inside a lot. But the officials have to an extent, give them a little bit of protection in there. Because both times there's been a little bit of contact, but the emphasis has got to be, if Croatia are going to go in there, they have to finish plays, take their time, get balanced, create space with the correct footwork. And but the referees do have to protect the big on the inside. Just because you're big, you need the same protection.
Jakobsone. Melnika looking to attack the rim. Faced by the prospect of three white shirts there. Siglar able to bring it away. Steps back to try and get an angle to get it up there. And a couple of players, 3 players down on the court, and whistle stops the play.
I think Ivankovic is going to be called with a foul. She's right as well. You see the hands in the back. There you go, palm of the hand. Anytime you see a palm of the hand, offensively or defensively, makes the referee's job a little bit easy because they can see that contact with the hand. Ivankovic, as I said, she shakes her head, doesn't develop any relationship with the official, picks up 2 quick fouls.
Well, all the signs are so far, 13 and a bit minutes gone in this one, that we've got a close fought game on our hands.
Well, Tim, what we said yesterday, EuroBasket is the toughest competition to win. This just sums it up. 2 great nations going at each other. We're only on day 2 and we've already got a matchup where someone really does need to win. Every single day of EuroBasket women is a tough one.
Jakobsone. Able to get it back from Malnika. Ooh, knocked away. Still 7 left on the shot clock. Malnika and another whistle.
That's so consistent from the official. He had the same call down the other end where Sliskovic was called with a hook. Comes back with the same call. That's all players want. Just want to see, if you called it this way, just want that consistency. And Kalute's going to have to sit down. I like that. You know, they called it one way all the way through the game.
Eva Siglar, Dieter Rosenberg having to work overtime to try and keep up with her, and does get a hand on the ball. It was Malnika who actually got the block.
Nice block.
And Siglar then has stepped out of bounds.
Oh, this timeout's going to kill Coach Turic. He desperately didn't want to make the call. Came up to the table, so I've got to take it. Take the timeout. He thought he had that momentum opportunity. They've lost their way a little bit. Good call in the end to make the timeout now. It also gives him a chance to get a little bit of rest into Luka Ivankovic. Someone just needs to have one of those little quiet words with Ivankovic now. Just play, just keep playing, we'll find you. And she'll get a blow on the bench, and expect her. I would expect her to see a lot of the ball coming out of this timeout.
Well, both sides are struggling to produce a little on offense at the moment. Croatia without a score since 8:44 in the quarter. Latvia without a score since 8:29. So a couple of minutes without a change to the scoreline here. Croatia leading 24-22. And still that largest lead of the game has been the Latvian lead within the first couple of minutes, 7 points.
Well, if you're a Croatian fan watching this, your team is coming out and playing hard. Absolutely dominating the game on the glass. They've had 6 more shots than Latvia. They've shot awful percentages, and they did that early on. But they're dominating the glass. They're getting more shots. So that's good signs for Croatia, even though they only lead by 2. And after yesterday, you just got to take your hat off to them, the way they've come out and played hard.
Bashko goes with the left hand, rebound, put back up. But Malnika off the mark, and then a foul.
Well, Ivankovic got back in the play. That's the other key moment there. She tried to help. They missed the first shot, but she was back in the play to get the glass. Gets repaid because they draws another foul on this Latvian team. Tim, I would have expected to see Latvia do this a little bit earlier in the game, because if Siglar's going to go 40, I'd have thought they'd have worked her out for the whole game. Just rotated players against her, make her work every inch of the floor.
Of course, so many of those Croatia players going to have to play bigger minutes with the roster depleted. Rosenberger called with a foul, her second, reaching right onto the forehead.
Well, again, mid-court, why? And it puts Latvia again in the penalty with over half of the quarter to go.
Siglar able to get away from Rosenberger this time. Borovic driving into a horde of those burgundy shirts.
Well, they all just got confused there because there was a switch on the defense. I thought Siglar might back it out and try and actually look to get her own option. But Ivankovic had a massive mismatch on the inside and then just closed the space down a little too much.
Luka Ivankovic at the line, a couple of points for her so far. She has a chance to double her tally. And Croatia have a chance to extend their still slender lead.
Well, Vitola's in the game now. She's only played 7 minutes of the 15 so far. And energy is what they need. Energy on the glass. 16 rebounds yesterday. They really need that output now.
1 point off a double-double yesterday.
Yep.
16 boards, 9 points, 7 offensive boards. And played 31 minutes of that game yesterday as well. It was a final round debut. Steinberger passed up the 3 to go inside. Ran into traffic and Croatia able to recover. Siglar. Forced backwards at the midway point of the second quarter. Siglar goes with a crossover to the left, back out, bit more space now for Mazic. She steps up towards the foul stripe and gets it to go.
Liking the way Mazic is coming and bringing her game today. Mara Mazic really is being a factor, and they needed that extra scorer.
So Latvia, number 6, Eglita is on the floor.
Zona Eglite érkezik.
They had 29 points combined yesterday, Croatia, from Siglar and Slišković, but nobody else really stepped up. Mazic had 7 already.
Well, Mazic took the shots yesterday, didn't she? What, like 1 for 12 or something like that.
Steinberger for 3. How about this from Steinberger? 17 points in the first 15 and a half minutes.
Wow, 4 from 5 from the three-point line. They've always got a shooter's chance. They've always got a shooter's chance.
It's only a 2-point game. Siglar. Looking to drive all the way through herself. Did just about enough to put her off Vitola. It's a big frame to try and get around. And she wasn't able to do so, and Latvia will have the opportunity to tie or take the lead.
10 miljoonát érkezik a horvát együttesbe.
I expected Latvia to go a little bit more with more of a passing game here and get some screens away from the ball to get Jakobsoni and people open for shots. They've tried to create shots as opposed to move the ball. Because they are such a good team with their feet set.
Knocked away there from Bashko, who's able to recover. Now, off the broken play, what can Latvia do? Out of bounds.
Credit to Vankovic there. She could have easily, as the helping player in that situation, ended up picking up the foul, but she, great job, great discipline to just stay in defensive stance and just try, there you go, she's in stance, doesn't reach, gets her hands out. Steinberger nowhere to go. Heads up play by the vet.
Mazic bringing the ball down court, on by Borovic, and now Miloglav up against Eglite. Jankic. Mazic going to put it inside towards Ivankovic, who's able to turn and use the right hand. Excellent move.
Super move, super move. Didn't have to panic, good balance. Used the backboard well.
That's her first field goal of the game after missing her first 6 shots as well.
There comes a point when you're Latvia that someone has to say, this is how the referees are calling the game. You know, that offensive foul, they've been very consistent on that. So they're just giving lots of opportunities here for Croatia. It's their own indiscipline that's really hurting them.
Foul called on Vitola. Borovic. Bit of a wild pass from Borovic over towards Miloglav. I'm not so sure what she saw there on the perimeter.
Well, she's expecting on that penetration, Miloglav has to go deep to the baseline or come out to there so she can see the ball. Miloglav is still standing behind the Latvian player. Still a bad decision to start to lead the floor to jump, but teammates stood and looked at her.
Jakobsoni passed off to Bashko. Those 2 players returning to the international fold for Latvia for this tournament. Jakobsoni making a move. Found by Putnina now, who goes on here and then back out towards Steinberger, but a foul call.
I tend to agree with Coach Turic. Looked like there was a little hot, but it's great execution in terms of the options they selected there. Felt the double team, felt the hard show, just gave the ball to the open player. Helps a little late. There's the foul.
Eglite gets the ball in quickly to Jakobsoni, who had a free look at the basket. Rebound, Steinberger. And then out of bounds, still going to be Latvia ball. Steinberger has 17 points and 5 boards now in this first half. Jakobsoni, Steinberger. Taking over is Bashko. Has to throw it up, really awkward shot. They couldn't quite get the look they wanted. They kept being forced away, and it's a shot clock violation in the end.
There wasn't a single screen away from the ball set in that last 12-second play. And for a team that shoots the ball so well, you'd expect to see more action away from the basketball.
Jankic driving inside, aggressive play, offensive ball grabbed by Ivankovic, who puts it in, and a foul.
That's a better reaction from Jankic. Just gets her fist and really enjoyed the fact she made that. Now she has to step to the line and make it, and it's that little moment now. This will make it a 7-point game, 2 minutes to go. They could go into the half with a double-digit lead at the moment.
Missed 6 shots in a row to start the game. Luka Ivankovic, she's made 2 in a row now and has a chance to add the extra 1 on the 3-point play here, which would take her tally to 8 points and 8 boards. We said at the start of the game she was getting into effective positions but not making the most of the opportunities. Well, she certainly is now. And Croatia do lead by 7.
Oh, if you're Latvia now, you've really got to come down and get good shots. You've really got to try and the plays you're most comfortable running. Get the ball in the right player's hands. There's the right player.
With the 2.
Still off the dribble though, and she's very good at that, but making life a little bit easier for Croatia.
Mazic. Almost pinched away from Jankic. Back out to Mazic, who's open for 3. A little short, but an offensive board, is it? Yes, from Ivankovic, and then a foul.
Well, any one of 3 Croatians could have got the offensive board. Bezic got in there and got on. Jankovic said, no, I'm having it. Just ripped it away. She actually took it off her own player. Bezic got great position.
Ivankovic had a team-high 8 rebounds yesterday in that defeat. She's got 9 already in the first half here. You'd have to feel now almost guaranteed a double-double. That's 9 points, 9 boards.
Well, she's putting in a shift. It's the only way to describe it. She's gone to the office today. She knows she's going to be putting in a lot of hours. And she's really, even though she had that difficult start, as we said, stats don't lie. They all even themselves out over the game.
She did average a double-double in the EuroLeague last year for Novi Zagreb. 13.1 points, 11.1 rebounds, and now just 1 board away from a double-double here. Approaching the final minute of the first half. Good opportunity from the foul line for Putnina, trying to lean to put it in. Latvia down by 7. Croatia could extend their lead here. Mazic. Now Jankic. Miloglav. 5 left to shoot. Mazic. Gonna spin and put the shot up, gets it to go. Mazic looked left, then looked right, and nailed it.
Well, Ivankovic is the story in terms of we knew what was to expect, but Mazic is the bit of the X factor here for Croatia. You know, those points that Mazic here, 9 points in the first half, great performance.
That's long from Putnina. A battle for the board here, and Eglite's able to come away with it. Jakobsoni puts it up from the foul line and puts it in. Big basket for Latvia that when Croatia's lead was growing.
Well, the only player the last couple of possessions where they needed a player to get a shot that the player wanted has been Jakobsoni. Both times off that little left-hand dribble to the middle, pulled up foul line, pulled up inside the keyway. It's still work. Latvia having to really look for those types of options gives Croatia a lot of hope. Love the way this Croatian team has really come with purpose and really executing well.
We weren't too sure how they were going to come into this game.
No.
They have responded to the challenge so well.
Everybody was worried for them, but you've got to think at some point your pride kicks in. And they're a proud basketball nation. So we said yesterday, the players that they have are good players. They've just got injury problems. Today they've come out, whatever Coach Turic has said, whatever they've said as a group of individuals, they've come out with some real pride. Pride for the flag almost, but they've executed really, really well. If Ivankovic had made those shots early on, they could have been looking at a double-digit lead here. They've been to the free-throw line more than Latvia. They've outworked Latvia, and they've built this lead, and they should go into the half. It's almost siege mentality. They've come out in the trenches, back to the wall, all those quotes. They've outworked their opponent, and they're being repaid with the scoreline at the moment.
Croatia are a big basketball nation. They were just short-handed for the start of this tournament. This is their 6th final round. They've reached the quarterfinals in 3 of their previous 5 appearances, and almost look down and out after that defeat yesterday with the extra injuries to add to that list. But they have risen from the ashes here and looking to take a decent lead into the halftime interval. Final 10 seconds of the first half on the turn, won't quite go for Ivankovic. And just a few seconds to come up court here for Latvia. Put up by Steinberger at the buzzer, can't hit the 3, so it's a 7-point halftime lead for Croatia, led by the 10 of Ivankovic, who also has 9 rebounds. 17 for Steinberger, leading the way for Latvia, but they are down by 7 at halftime. Croatia 36, Latvia 29.
Please welcome to the court, Westside.
Well, I'm going to see the stats. No one's going to be writing home about 33 and 14%. What they're going to write home about is 31 rebounds to 15. With those shooting percentages, you've got a board, and they've boarded so well. Both teams okay with the basketball in terms of turnovers, but the rebound numbers are just phenomenal. Ivankovic has her 10 points. Ivankovic has her 9 rebounds. Steinberger's been the player showing up for Latvia. But it's where and the way that Croatia have applied themselves here. That is a quality performance of pride as much as anything else. The rebound numbers are just scary, absolutely scary. And there's a simple message for Latvia. Get the ball, look after your own rebounds, and you might get back in this. If you let them out-rebound you again, this is a win for Croatia.
The plan was clear from the get-go. Get the ball into Luka Ivankovic close to the basket. They've got to the line for 17 free-throw attempts. Latvia, rather, just 2 in the whole half.
And part of that was the play on the inside. The other part was just Latvia's lack of discipline in terms of getting into foul trouble. Both quarters, they're in the penalty halfway through that period. So for 5 minutes, part of their game plan should have been to play pressure defense. They couldn't because they're in foul trouble as a team. Croatia are in control here. It's still only a 7-point game though, and as we've said in commentary, this Latvian team with their perimeter game, you're never ever comfortable. They could go down, knock 3 or 4 threes in a row, as Steinberger has done. That's a bonus for Latvia. They're never out of a game. They've always got that shooter's chance because they've got quality perimeter shooters.
And Croatia overly reliant against Russia yesterday on Iva Siglar and also on Iva Slišković, 29 points combined. Their next biggest scorer was Mijana Mazic, 7 points, just 1 of 12 from the field. Today, the other players have stepped up. Mazic in that first half has reached that tally of 7, and Ivankovic has 10. Siglar does have 8, another big performance from her, but they've had a more all-round performance from this team.
Inside-outside scoring. I loved it. From a Croatian perspective, Slišković there with a little jump hook. Those sorts of numbers are her normal numbers, but this player Mazic, just the confidence she's now displaying as the game has developed gives Croatia a lot of hope. Steinberg is the only player to really play to the full potential that she has in that first half. You've got a scenario where Basko, pointless. One of the leading players for Latvia. They just haven't got the shots they wanted. Just Croatia have had a game plan. They've put it on the floor and they've executed. It's theirs, they're in control. Latvia have to make the changes. They're asked the questions.
Siglar 2 of 7 from the field. Mijana Mazic 3 of 8. Luka Ivankovic only 2 of 9. Missed her first 6 shots, but yeah, they have this big lead. They've just created more of those opportunities.
All on the glass. That's phenomenal rebounding by a Croatian team. That's why they have the lead.
Half-time score then at the Arena Savaria. Croatia 36, Latvia 29. Join us again for the second half in a few minutes' time.
szerzett, és a 12-es Annette Steinberg a parádézott az első félidőben, 17 pontig jutott.
Welcome back to the arena, Savaria in Szombathely, Hungary. Croatia leading Latvia 36-29 as we get ready to start the second half. And what a great team performance it was from Croatia. Up against all the odds at the moment with all of those injuries, and a big defeat against Russia yesterday. They have answered the questions that were being asked of them. Now Latvia need to answer a few questions of their own.
Well, I think it's been a very complete performance by this Croatian team, giving themselves an opportunity to get an unexpected win here. Latvia's got to stop fouling and they've got to rebound. If they do those two things, they're right back in this, because you know they're going to make jump shots.
Well, Annette Steinberger answered her critics with 17 first-half points. Jakobsone had 8, but those 25 points for Latvia, 2 players combined, they've only got 4 from the rest of the roster. Almost in the same way that we talked about Iva Siglar and Iva Slišković needing help for Croatia yesterday. Now some of the other Latvian players need to step up here in the second half.
Well, one thing Croatia have to do is maintain that discipline they had defensively. They didn't get beaten too much on the dribble. They didn't reach. They made Latvia earn everything they got. They've got to bring that control throughout this second half.
And sometimes in that first half for Latvia, not quite the discipline they need in terms of decision-making.
Absolutely not. Early shots, bad selections, and actually some very poor decisions about when to get after the basketball and when to foul.
Vitola going to put it up for 3. No good. Grabs her own rebound, though. And a fresh 14 to work with here for Jakobsone. Vitola looking to go inside, and Jakobsone will take it on herself and move into double digits.
They just have to decide how they're going to guard Jakobsone against the pick. Because at the moment, they don't have a way of playing her on the pick and roll. They've gone under, they've tried to chase. They haven't shown hard at all. That's an issue with Jankovic. She's not mobile enough to really give you a lot of options with your defense.
Siglar prodding and probing, gets it into Ivankovic. That's going to be 2, a little short from Jankic anyway. Latvia can close the gap further, and they'll try and do it quickly. And almost walking the tightrope then was Steinberger, and in the end call for the travel.
That's still a good sign, them looking to push, because they're going to have to make, one of the ways to deal with Luka Ivankovic is make her run and really make her get down the floor every time. You just got to make better decisions than they did on the pass then.
Siglar. On the perimeter is Mazic, and now Jankic. Iva Siglar's going to backtrack and then look to attack into the paint herself. One-on-one, got away from Vitola and then couldn't finish.
Well, Luka Ivankovic in that time shakes her head going back, and at no stage should she really give any of her teammates a target to pass the ball to then. She's got to want the ball every single time she can get it, and she's got to play with that sort of intensity every single possession.
Jakobsone. Steinberger moving it on to Vitola. Bashko, who was scoreless in that first half, going to try and get going in the second. Unable to do so. Rebound grab, though, by Vitola, who's then tangled up.
Well, welcome to the game for Kristina Vitola. That's 2 rebounds in the first 2 minutes on the offensive glass. Just watch her activity here. She's just more active than anybody else. She's not going to get it because she's the strongest player out there, but that's what got her 16 rebounds yesterday. Wasn't there in the first half. Good sign for Latvia that she's active on the glass.
And she only had 1 rebound in the whole of the first half, playing 11.5 minutes. That's a 3 for Jakobsone, and Latvia are closing the gap. They're within 2.
She's hit the points at the start of this period and getting shots she wants.
30 of Latvia's 34 points coming from Jakobsone and Steinberger. And they have a chance now to try and tie. Aglite able to steal the ball. No good though for Bashko, who's still without a score. Ivankovic into Mazic, trying to force it high off the glass, trying to grab her own rebound too. And Latvia will come with a 2-on-1 opportunity here. Bashko surely now will get going. No.
Well, Eva Cigar's done a great job the last two where they've had really open looks. She hasn't fouled, but she's challenged shots. And she's been repaid for the work with the two misses, but on both occasions, Latvia should have scored. But Cigar didn't foul, real good discipline, but challenged the shot.
Latvia should be level, they could be ahead. Croatia still hold the slender lead, but they haven't scored in almost 3 minutes at the start of the second half. And we're going to have a timeout here with Croatia leading 36-34.
Case of deja vu. It's like the start of the game. Croatia unable to score. Latvia getting the opportunities to get in the game. They've got the momentum. Let's see if Croatia can make the same adjustments they did in the first half. And there's that, you almost knew that Coach Turic was going to look at it this way. Like, yeah, guys, we were good. What's happened? Just going to do what we did. It's almost like, just remember, they've just lost their way a little bit. They'll be fine coming out this timeout. I'm sure they're going to get the shots that they want as they come back early in this third quarter.
There's 3 players having big games for Croatia right now. Ivankovic has a double-double already. Only a few minutes into the second half. 10 points, 10 rebounds, 7.6 rebounds for Mazic and 8.5 rebounds for Siglar.
Wow. The great stat for me, though, with this Latvian team, better discipline, no fouls in the first 3 minutes of this second period. They've played good defense, and they've just got down and got into stance and said, yeah, make tough shots. And Croatia haven't been able to make the tough shots. The Cigar penetration sums that up. Earlier in the game, she got all the way to the far side of the ring and made the layup. They cut her off. She had to make a tough shot as we get the stat on the double-double for Luka Ivankovic.
The big scoring performances for Latvia as part of this comeback. 17 for Steinberger. Jakobsone has 30. They'll try and get level here. Jakobsone going to try and keep doing it. Rebound grabbed by Borovic. Milo Glav will bring the ball up court for Croatia. Siglar tried to escape the attentions of Eglite. Able to move it into Ivankovic, who went high off the glass and knocked out of bounds Latvia ball.
It really is deja vu. I was putting those two in the scorebook. She did everything right, Ivankovic, kept it up, used the glass, just threw it over the other side of the ring. Maybe she needs a few sighters every time, but it really is deja vu to the start of the game.
Missed her first 6 shots at the start of the game. Here's Jakobsone, who's certainly been finding her range and does it again. 15 now for the number 10.
Well, make a decision about how you're going to play on the pick and roll. At the moment, she's just killing you. You know, get out, trap it, go under, whatever you're going to do it and execute it. At the moment, she's coming up open off that screen. And Ivankovic gives them an issue. If they go and run her, if she's the person defending the screen, they have very limited options of how they can defend Jakobsone in that situation. That's why Sliskovic has come back into the game. She'll be more active as the player defending the screener.
Trying to help Croatia score their first points of this second half. Mazic going to try and end that drought and does. Strong move.
Double figures for Mazic in the game. That's a tough move. Far side of the ring.
Jakobsone certainly found her range so far in this second half. Now Steinberger, who found hers early on. The 3 no good for Laxa. An offensive board though for Latvia.
Vitola again on the glass. All of a sudden she's woken up.
And they needed that to combat the rebounding of Croatia in that first half. Shot clock's down to 3 here. Steinberger 4-3. A little short. Mazic this time grabs the ball but knocked away and recovered by Eglite.
Mazic made that cardinal mistake of bouncing the basketball.
And the 3 good for Jakobsone, now the game's leading scorer with 18. Latvia lead by 1, having been down by 7 at the break, but Sliskovic will get free under the hoop to restore Croatia's lead.
Jakobsone has all 10 points here in the second in this second half for Latvia, and all of them have been Jakobsone baskets. You know, coming off the ball screen, getting her feet set from the three-point line. There's a little bit more activity on the screen, which is why they've gone back with Sliskovic, but then they just forget where she is, and the discipline goes out of the window. Sliskovic had to show harder, which gives them much better options defensively. It's just they lose. Ivankovic down the other end.
Jakobsone's had 25 points and 22 points in a couple of the warm-up games. Vitola got free under the rim that time, but couldn't finish. Jakobsoni has the potential to go even better than that here in game 2 of the final round. Knocked away and into the hands of Vitola. And Latvia have a chance to take the lead back. It's a back and forth game now. Jakobsoni waiting for some movement. It comes in the form of Laxa. Aglite foul to the floor. Vitola puts it up for a 2, long 2, perhaps an ill-advised shot. And Croatia come away with it.
There's a reason that they offered her that shot. That's not what she's great at.
Slišković. And the foul called on Steinberger.
Why Steinberger has to go for that little bit extra in that situation. She had control and just wanted to walk here. She's great position, then she jumps. Slišković has nowhere to go. Steinberger bails her out. Just being over keen almost.
5 fouls in 7 minutes yesterday. It's taken her until this point to get a second today. Slišković on the turn, mid-range no good. And Steinberger with a rebound.
Great box out by Steinberger, just owned that space, made it her own.
Put up from the far side by Kulite off the mark. Offensive board again, though. Latvia certainly turned things around in that respect. Jakobsoni can't quite keep the run going. Miloglav feeding it into Slišković again. Backing up now against Kulite. And a strong move, and she'll go to the line for 2.
Nice decision by Slišković. She was being asked to come back to the right hand, but she went with that left hand this time. Steps into space, nice move, and Steinberger has to pick up her 3rd foul. She gets them in bunches, Steinberger. Gets one, almost as feels obliged to pick up another one. They need her in the game in the 4th quarter. Picking up the 3rd foul here is not really in the script.
It's about as big a bunch as you could get yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Slišković makes the first. 12 points all in the first half yesterday for the number 12. She's got 8 points now and got them steadily through today's game.
Well, they had 2 on 8, 11 and 10. They're getting, contributions across the roster. What they're going to have to find out and work out is how they can get Jankovic back in the game and not really get hurt. Now, there's a chance for him to go back in the game with Jankovic now, with Jakobsoni on the bench, because she really is the best they have, Latvia, coming off that ball screen.
Steinberger, Laxa now. Laxa going to go high off the glass herself. Couldn't roll it off the fingertips and in. Siglar. Slišković looking to make a move inside. A little bit space there for Mazic, who's called for the travel.
This is why national team basketball is such a challenge coaching-wise. You've got to go with what you have and find ways to really, find ways to do it. After that great start, 2 minutes again for Latvia without scoring.
Izila knocked away by Mazic. Out of bounds, still Latvia ball.
And Jakobsoni still the only Latvian to score in this 3rd quarter.
Steinberger up against Mazic. Going to try and become a second scorer in this second half, and we'll have a chance to do so from the line for Latvia. Jakobsoni can't do it for the whole half by herself. She needs others to step up.
Great decision by Steinberger then to go to the hoop, though. Drew the contact, tried to get to the far side of the ring. And as long as she makes the free throws, it's the great decision to tick that scoreboard over. Take the responsibility with Jakobsoni sitting on the bench now.
You look at the leading scorers in the game, you've almost got a complete opposite between the two sides. Steinberger puts that one in. You've got a 19-point game and an 18-point game on the Latvian end, but then you've got 4 players either in or approaching double figures for the Croatians. It's been a more even spread from them. They have the slender lead. Mazic completely free for the long 2. It was short, rebound grabbed by Kulite.
Good offensive options, and they really did move the ball well. They just couldn't make the open look.
And the 3 taken on by Izila and missed.
No one touched the ball for Latvia apart from Izila on that time. It hasn't worked for them.
Slišković got a bit of room just beyond the foul stripe, unable to hit though. Izila. They just backed off it. Gave her the opportunity, she didn't take advantage of it.
There's a reason why. She hasn't knocked one down yet.
1 of 7 from downtown yesterday.
That's why they're stepping off. If she's gone 1 from 7 and no one else touched, she can get that shot 20 seconds into the set. She doesn't need to take it now. She can get it whenever she wants it. And there's again, it's like you pick your poison, and that's all the Croatians are doing with her. It's like, yeah, 1 from 7, we'll take that.
And she remains scoreless here today in 6.5 minutes on court. Rosenberger, Jakobsone trying to feed it in towards Vitola, and a foul.
Well, both little upside here for the Latvian coaching side with Coach Vinčis getting Jakobsone back in the game, but Jankovic comes back in the game, and straight away they go run the pick and roll with whoever Jankovic is guarding. I think the Croatians have missed the opportunity to get some time into Jankovic where she wouldn't be exposed defensively.
Kristina Vitola out the line, able to hit the first, and that's her first point of the game. 16.5 minutes on court. Nine points and 16 boards yesterday, and 2 points now. And it's taken her a while to get going in terms of scoring and in terms of rebounding. Miloglav. Latvia have that 1 point advantage. Final 90 seconds of the third quarter. Borovic. Miloglav perched on the perimeter, steps inside, a little off balance, and well off the mark.
Oh my word! What went through the mind of Eva Kulite then? She had it. She didn't have to panic. Just threw it out of bounds. When Luka Ivankovic is in the game, she better get touches of the ball. You don't want to be taking jump shots when she's making huge holes under the ring.
Slišković looking to back in and go to work on Vitola. Got away from her for a moment or two.
Rosenberger did a nice job helping out.
Out goes Borovic. And Latvia back to the line with Rosenberger. Unable to hit the first. You can't hit either of them on that time. And Latvia unable to save it as well off the rebound. An opportunity missed for Dieter Rosenberger.
It's much more disciplined defensively by Latvia, though. A little pressure up the floor, making Croatia work for everything, but not bailing them out with the fouls.
Back in the game, missing the shot, though. Ivankovic, and then the miss on the follow-up from Ana Maria Begic as well.
That was beautiful execution by Croatia. Great cut by Jankovic, and I can't, for the life of me, understand how she managed to miss that one.
Wide open on that far side for the three. It's good for Jankic.
Well, Jankic has been a good performer this whole game. One of the players that really has taken on some responsibility for this Croatian lineup.
5 points and 5 boards now for Ružica Jankic, the 20-year-old. Here's Rosenberger. Put up by Jakobsone, but off the mark. Rebound grabbed by Begic. Croatia looking to finish the third quarter strongly, and hit from behind was Miloglav. Foul on Jakobsone is her first.
That's not a bad decision. They had a chance to run in broken play. There's about a 5-second differential, so Latvia are going to expect to get this back.
Slišković, Miloglav, Croatia holding on to it for as long as possible in towards Slišković. Miloglav going to take on the three and gets it to go. Miloglav from downtown
Back-to-back threes.
They have to force it up at the buzzer. Jakobsone off the mark, so Croatia finished the third quarter strongly, despite a wonderful start from Jakobsone in terms of scoring to take her tally to 18. It's Croatia 48, Latvia 43 after 3.
Well, after all that great work by Jakobsone, it's Croatia reassert and get the 5-point lead. 12 from 42, and most of those misses are Jankovic around the ring. Just a reasonable percentage would have helped. 45 to 27 on the glass. They're living by their ability to rebound at the moment. Give them credit for it from that particular angle. Latvia have found a way defensively. They know what they're going to do offensively. Why they go away from things that have worked for them is really beyond me, because every time Jakobsone's got that ball screen with Jankovic in the game, they've got a good shot. And they have no way of defending the pick and roll with Luka Ivankovic in the game. They've got to find a way. If Latvia come down the game when it's tied or a 1-point game, they're going to run that pick and roll. And Croatia have got to work out how they're going to play it, because at the moment, Jakobsone is just getting shots she wants. And the last thing you want to give a team when they're trying to win the game is a shot they want. And she just makes those shots. Even if they trap it, they've got to do something different. Otherwise, that's going to be a very productive option that Latvia can keep going back to. I just love the way, though, that these younger or less experienced players from Croatia have stepped up. The 2 threes at the end of the game are 2 of the young Sun players. Just sums up the attitude they've come out with in this game. Love the way they've applied themselves tonight.
The 2 leading scorers in the game are both on the Latvian end. Steinberger with 19, Jakobsone with 18, including the first 10 points in that third quarter for Latvia. But you look down the scorers for Croatia, and it has been a real team effort. 11 from Mazic, 10 for Ivankovic, 8 for Slišković, 8 for Siglar, and then 6 with those 2 3-pointers late in the third quarter for Milo Glav as well. And not just the scorers approaching double digits or on double digits, but you've actually got 3 players who could feasibly pick up a double-double. Mazic has 7 boards to add to her 11 points. Siglar has 8 points and 8 rebounds, and Ivankovic, of course, already on a double-double.
Wow, 14-12 that quarter. If Croatia keep Latvia down to 14 points, they win the game. It's as simple as there's no way that they're not going to score 9, 10 points in this quarter.
Latvia down by 5 then at the start of the fourth. Trying to get going straight away, and banked in by Dieter Liep-Kalne, who's just come into the game and has a chance straight away at a 3-point play.
Well, what is Maria Bezic doing here? Watch, she's already got it going away from the basket. She's leaning in. If she makes it, great. Don't foul that. Don't even give the official the chance to call that play.
Those Liep-Kalne's first seconds on court here this afternoon. So the lead for Croatia is now only 2. Slišković. Ivankovic going to go to work, can't score right at the start of the fourth. She's got her points.
Better move, though. She got balanced. She will make those moves. The big call for Croatia is when Siglar comes back. She's sitting there with 4 fouls. When she comes back, you've got to hope she can see the game out for Croatia.
And she's almost got her points in a bit of a run today, Ivankovic. Ooh. She certainly had points on a run. Jakobsone can't score this time, though. And the rebound grabbed and recovered by Malnika.
Don't really know why Jakobsone hesitated then, because she knows that Ivankovic is just going to try and occupy the keyway. She's going to have a wide open jump shot if she just gets a little bit more separation from the screen. And she almost hesitated, lost her rhythm. But I was surprised she just didn't come off it and knock it down, which is what she's very, very good at.
Slišković. Waiting for movement here from Jankic. Screen set then by Ivankovic, who goes inside. It's in towards her now. Back out for the 3 for Jankic, who nails it.
Back-to-back threes for Jankic. I love it, love it. The confidence that Ivankovic had in her, though. She felt the double team, just gave her it, knocked it down.
Neglite. Over to that far corner. They'll try and answer back with Leah Kalne, who's come into the game and doing it as well.
Where's she been? Where has Kalne been?
Sat on the bench for the first 3 quarters.
Explodes for 5 points coming in.
Sliškovic. In the corner now, it's moved on. And back out again for Milo Glavi. Can't hit from the outside this time. And a real fight for the ball as it came back off the boards, and they're going to have to fight like that in the 4th quarter now. Both of these teams, with this game still so close, it's been a single-digit game throughout.
Well, I think it's the right move by Turic. I know he could regret it if Siglar picks up a quick one, but you know she's going to try and play out 8 minutes here and try and manage her team over the line. He can't wait. He's got to put her in now.
These could be the most pivotal 8 minutes in the 2 campaigns of Croatia and Latvia here at the EuroBasket. Neglite has it knocked away, and here comes Siglar in quick transition, but can't hit the layup. Neglite now coming down the floor, quickly finding Steinberger. And it's Neglite wide open in the corner. Hits the side of the backboard. And 2 big missed opportunities, one for Croatia, one for Latvia.
Someone must have opened the doors at the end of the gym to hit the side of the backboard. Player of her quality. She'll be having nightmares about that wide open look from the corner. Latvian basketball, whether you like it or you don't, that's what they do.
Ivankovic looking to spin under the rim, trying to find a route to the rim, and did ever so well to do so.
This is where Ivankovic has just got to play. I mean, she just made a tough move, may have been, may not have been fouled. We made the point earlier on, you don't need to upset the official.
Well, 7 minutes to play, and we have a wonderfully close encounter here. Croatia 53, Latvia 49. Well, both of these coaches will be feeling that they just cannot afford to go to 0-2 in this Group C. And that's the prospect that they're both facing here, with just a 4-point differential as we start to approach the midway point of the 4th quarter. This is huge now for both Croatia and Latvia.
Well, you got Siglar on 4 fouls and Ivankovic who can't defend the pick and roll. So if somehow the Croatians have got to keep Siglar away from Jakobsoni. But if Jakobsoni has it, whoever that Jankovic is guarding needs to set the pick and roll. Make Croatia find a way to guard that. Because at the moment, they don't have a way of guarding it. It's a 4-point game. You're going to get good shots out of running that play. And I don't get the feel they're going to run that play. Or you just run some screens away from the ball to get Jakobsoni coming back.
Here is Jakobsoni. Little bounce pass in towards Melnika, who stumbled, and then Kalne had come across to try and help out, and she wasn't in the position that Melnika was expecting.
Well, they went to the pick and roll, and really, you saw the issues Croatia had, because Jankovic is trying to protect herself, protect the middle. Creates too much space for Jakobsoni to make good decisions. They fell over.
Siglar. Opportunity for Croatia to extend the lead here. Back out to Jankic, who's hit a couple of big shots. Siglar, who hit big ones early on, can't hit that time though. Offensive board though from Sliškovic, and a fresh 14. The 2 big scorers from yesterday combining. Sliškovic looking to go to work inside, difficult shot, and Ivankovic couldn't grab it as it came back down.
Oh, it's just rebound after rebound after rebound for Croatia. The shooting percentages are horrible, but they are just rebounding their backsides off here. They're just absolutely dominating the glass, and that's what's given them a chance to stay alive in this whole tournament.
28% shooting inside, 33% from downtown for Croatia. And they have a 4-point lead. 5 seconds to shoot here for Slišković. Gonna go to work between a whole bunch of Latvian defenders and somehow gets it to go.
Tough move. Tough move. 10 points personal for her.
Jakobsone moves it back to Steinberger. Steinberger going to drive under the rim. Little reverse from her.
Again, it started with the pick and roll, so Jankovic has to make that decision, and it really is giving Croatia a problem. They're getting good shots off the pick and roll when Jankovic has to guard the screener.
Slišković again has the ball inside, looking confident right now. She wants to take everything on, and it's another lovely move.
Well, she looks like she owns Vitola at the moment, getting shots she wants against her. Vitola's just going to play active.
Zila trying to slip it into the hands of Vitola, off the fingertips and out of bounds.
See, they don't get the same reaction from the Croatians when they run the pick and roll where Jankovic isn't guarding the screener. And it's when it's not Jakobsone, because there's more threat when they run it that way. If they stay with what works in this situation, halfway through the fourth quarter, Jakobsone coming off screens or Jakobsone with the ball coming off the ball screen, good things happen for Latvia if they do that.
Timeout with Croatia leading 57-51 halfway through the fourth quarter.
Well, the foul trouble's not really going to hurt at this stage. Steinberger should be able to see the game out, and I think that's an important thing. 21 points on the game. Croatia's foul trouble is a bit more worrying with Siglar with 4. If she has to sit down, if she picks something up with too much time to go, you'd expect Latvia to have a real shot at putting some pressure on these inexperienced Croatian backcourt. I just love the way Croatia have dealt with the game, though. I just think it's a tremendous performance. Coach Turic has done a marvelous job finding a way to be effective with his team in what really is a back-to-the-wall game with injuries and everything else, and he must have used that adversity to motivate his players.
Us against the world mentality for Croatia, and they're winning at the moment with all the odds stacked against them. Can they get over the finish line, though? 5 minutes and 14 seconds to go in this one. A 6-point advantage. They have a little bit of breathing room. The largest lead in the game has been 7. And it's been a lot closer, perhaps, than many people thought it might be with those Croatian injury concerns. Siglar to bring the ball over half court. And clattered into straight away.
Siglar's fouled out on that offensive foul. That's just the biggest call of the game, biggest decision. You credit the Latvian defense for jumping up. I'd like to see it again. But if Siglar was going to foul out on the halfway line in a trap, that's just unbelievable. For 1 second, I'm not suggesting there was a problem with the call. I'd love to see it again. But that 5 minutes, after saying how much this young player, inexperienced players have stepped up, they've got to get their Croatians over the line with 5 minutes to go. And then I would expect to see Latvia really try and squeeze, if it's the half-court trap or some full-court pressure. That's a huge call in the game.
And a 3 now for Jakobsone. Couldn't rub salt in the wounds. Rebound grabbed by Jankic. And Siglar, who they needed to try and manage the game down the stretch as well with her experience. They no longer have that option. Here's Mazic. Opportunity for the 3 for Miloglav. She stepped inside, and it's not going Croatia's way right now.
Wow, 2 back-to-back offensive fouls. Interesting. This is when players just have to execute. They have to really just knuckle down, execute correctly, set good screens. Don't panic. And I think you've just seen a couple of Croatian panics.
The door's been opened for a Latvian comeback. Wide open for 3. It's good for Anate Steinberger, who now has 24.
Well, if you've got fingernails and you're Croatian, you've probably chewed them away by now.
Still over 4 minutes to play.
Oh, nice move.
Spin from Mazic, and she gets the bounce.
Big play by Mazic. Stepping into the real leadership role. Beautiful drop step.
Leading scorer for the Croatians now with 13. Jakobsone. Under pressure. Able to hold on to the ball. Move it on now to Vitola, who's fouled by Slišković.
Slišković just couldn't resist. Played good defense and then wanted a little piece of the basketball as Vitola went to the right hand. Watch the hand there. He just couldn't resist going after it.
Slišković's third personal. Siglar fouled out, of course. Mazic and Jankic also have 3. Nobody on 4 for Croatia. They've lost their key player to run the game, though.
Ivankovic sitting out at the moment. Get it down and just lob, find her underneath.
Vitola makes the free throws and gets Latvia within 3.
When does Coach Turic go back to Ivankovic? He's only got 340, he's only up 3. Oh.
Jankic just keeps hold of it. Wide open in the far side is Borovic, who gets it to go.
Hey, it's 3.5 minutes to go. The game's on the line. I've only just walked in. Why shouldn't I shoot the 3? That's great courage. Had a feet set, though. It was a good look.
So the Croatian lead has been doubled. Jakobsone. She's going to try and answer back with a 3 of her own. Contested, unable to make it, then knocked out of the hands of Miloglav, but out of bounds off Iglite.
Well, there's the answer as to why they're going to try and do this at the moment. Anyway, about Vankovic in the game. The defense on the pick and roll so much better with Slišković defending the screener.
Borovic, who made that 3 a few seconds ago, moved on through Miloglav to Slišković, gets it back now, Miloglav. They step away from her, invite the long 2, off the mark, rebound grabbed for Latvia and a chance to come up court for Gunter Baško, who's still without a score today. That one's short, Slišković with the rebound, and we're into the final 3 minutes. Croatia lead by 6. They need to get it safely over half court here and do. Miloglav. Borovic. Slišković now catching the ball away from the basket, going in to try and make the move was Mazic. Slišković there recovering on the offensive glass.
Another offensive rebound.
The 3 off the mark this time from Jankic. The game is so finely poised, still just a 6-point difference with 2 minutes to play. Can Latvia close the gap? Now they can. Moved in beautifully to Kulite, and it's a 4-point game.
Well, that's a great decision by Iglite. If they do live and die by that jump shot, but she attacked it, drew the defense, made the great pass. It's a lot easier to make those and big 3s at this stage of the game. I think that's good. They've got to look to attack the ring, not just worry about the 3-point shot. I'd put Ivankovic back in now. They've got to deal with a pick and roll however they want. But Ivankovic down the other end, you're almost guaranteed getting the look to the ring. The rebound numbers are just unbelievably. It's 20 rebound advantage for Croatia on the game. It's just a great rebounding job, and it's just kept them in the lead the whole way through.
A big role for the coaches to play now down the stretch, of course. Plenty of game management to be done in these final 2 minutes and 8 seconds. It's all about young players having confidence to take shots on, as we've seen and talked about already. It's all about experienced players stepping up when they're needed to as well. It's about efficiency, it's about focus, determination.
And most importantly, any of this, it's a player's game now. You know, in terms of the decisions on the floor, coaches can draw up what they want. You got to execute it, and you got to trust your players now. And the trouble for Croatia is they've got to do it without their leader, without Siglar in the game. They've got to do it with players who've not done it at national team level before.
Here's Slišković. Difficult shot, and off the side of the backboard. Good defense from Latvia. And now they can come for a chance at an easy two, and Bashko, with less than 2 minutes remaining, finally gets going. We've got a 2-point game. Miloglav having to do the job of Eva Siglar. In towards Sliskovic, who catches it, puts it in, and the foul. Big time chance at a 3-point play.
What great execution. Yeah, they ran the action around the high post. They went high, great cut by Sliskovic, and people didn't bump her. They allowed her to get in the seam of the defense, and she finished beautifully. Beautiful finish. This makes it a steal. It's a 5-point advantage. Every single point is key. Gets the roll.
Got the hop on that one, and Croatia have a 5-point lead, 90 seconds to go. Little to no room for error for Latvia now. Jakobsone still far from an insurmountable lead here. Kulite moved on, they'll put up a 3, it's good for Eglite to close the gap to 2 again. Approaching the final minute.
Oh, it's a trial to get the ball over the halfway line for Croatia. They managed to do it, but are always down at 12 seconds by the time they get into the half court.
The most pivotal minute of the tournament for these two nations, and it's a real battle for possession. Croatia had the ball ricochet into their favour, and then Bashko called for the foul.
Well, Bashko had it and put it on the floor, and you're like, oh, why are you dribbling?
53.7 remaining. It is a 1-possession game. It's been single-digit throughout.
And this is why the better discipline of Latvia in the second half is so important. They're still not in the penalty, and they're still now. Croatia have got to earn it from the field. It's just a great example. Don't get into foul trouble early as a team with crazy fouls.
Oh, how about that? Off Mazic and out of bounds. Really sloppy turnover.
Well, she's going to claim that Bashko grabbed her arm. I don't think so at all. Chance to lead for Latvia. Believe it or not, Latvia have a chance to lead.
Kulite. Now Bashko. Jakobsone.
Please set a ball screen for Jakobsone, please.
Eglite. Knocked away from behind almost. Now Steinberger back over to Jakobsone. They can't get a good look here. She will take it on under pressure. Air ball grabbed by Masic, and then able to balance and keep in play was Borovic. How big a play that could be. One of those you don't see on the stat line. Sliskovic. Now Miloglav. Final seconds here. There's a 4-second differential between shot and game clock. Croatia will hold it for as long as possible.
That's a good call. And the problem started for the defense for Eglite when she reached. Got off balance and then was going to block. Smart move to draw the foul. Game on the line, 9.5 seconds to go. This timeout, both ways. Really, really important, obviously. It's tough for Latvia. They can't just play it now. They're going to have to steal or foul on the pass. That's what will happen here. They'll steal or foul on the pass and at least make Croatia make 2 from the line to make it safe. Expect Latvia, they're timed out now. They're going to have to go right from the end line to score it. I'm surprised they took the timeout. They've got no way to come back in. They could have gone steal or foul on the sideline, and then even if they'd have been scored against, advance it to get the game tire. So Croatia have all the cards here. They have the ball. They've now got the penalty in their favour. So it's theirs to lose now. They've just got to get the ball in, and then there'll be a foul.
Well, such is the nature of this group and this tournament that it's almost a now or never occasion for these two nations. Just seconds remaining. It's only game 2 of the competition, but the prospect of falling to 0-2 could be too much to come back from for either Croatia or Latvia. It's clutch time in the women's EuroBasket.
The way this game has gone, I wouldn't be surprised. Latvia switch every screen and get a steal. Well, there's the foul on by Jakobsone. No time off the clock.
Foul number 10, Jakobsone.
So Borovic has got to step to the line, make one at least, and you're not going to lose. Or you think you're not going to lose.
This one to leave Latvia requiring a 3 and gets it. Big time free throws for Iva Borovic. This one would make it quite significantly a 2-possession game. 8.7 remaining. And Borovic hits them both.
Well, Croatia aren't going to go up the floor and foul. They're going to say, earn it.
And they've got to take it on quickly with Bashko. She gets all the way to the rim but can't finish. And that will do it. They had the opportunity. Latvia to get a quick score. Didn't take it with Gunter Bashko. And it's Braslav Turic's side who pick up the win. They win it in the end by 4. With the world seemingly against them, this Croatian team, torn apart by injury, have defied the odds to reignite their final round campaign. Latvia now have the mountain to climb. The final score here, Croatia 67, Latvia 63.
That is a phenomenal win for Croatia. They're going into that game. No one would have given them a hope. Their shooting stats don't give them a hope. 54 rebounds decides the game. 54 to 34 on the glass. That's just a outwork your opponent game. Get on the glass, get down, play hard. That's a phenomenal win for Croatia. They should take so much pride and so much confidence out of that going forward. They are in this tournament now until the last game of this this group when they play Great Britain. Sliskovic with 15 top scored. Ivankovic had a big 12-point double-double. Ivankovic with 10 rebounds. That was a team effort on the glass. If your leading rebound has 10 and you get 54, everyone has put their body on the line on the glass. That was great to watch because that's how much playing national team basketball means to national team players.
And looking at those shots of the team celebrating, you can see the injured players there as well. To do that job and be down to 8 or 9 players, it's a superb performance.
Well, by the end of this, by the last game in the tournament, it's very simple for Croatia now. Ivazic comes back for the last game. They get another perimeter scorer with experience, with players who've got confidence and players who believe they belong. Latvia are really in a deep, deep hole. They have to come out tomorrow and beat Great Britain, otherwise they're done. And even that loss would still leave us looking at the last game between Great Britain and Croatia. We don't know what's happening in this group until the last day. And that's obviously unless Great Britain come out and come up with the upset amongst all upsets of beating Russia in the last game of the day today.
And to do it for Croatia with those injured players as well, but also with the loss of Iva Siglar, who fouled out. They were dropping like flies and they still got over the line.
Oh, that in some ways, the Siglar foul out situation, other players now have carried this team over the line. That's going to help Croatian basketball full stop because, yeah, it was very messy. Yeah, it looked like they were liable to turn it over at any moment, but they didn't, and they got it over, and they got the shots they wanted.
And a couple of young players stepping up for them. Carmen Miloglav, inexperienced at this level, 24 years of age, hit a couple of big three-pointers, finished the game with 6, but Ruzica Jankic, just 20 years of age, 8 points and 6 rebounds in that game.
Well, the final thing for me to say on this is the players who stepped up, who you wouldn't expect to step up. They've come of age for Croatia today. But the final thing is, we said right at the top of the game, Latvia had to get more scoring across the roster. Jakobsoni with 18 and Steinberger with 24. That tells you everything you need to know. Other players didn't contribute, they didn't rebound, and they can't win games at this level on the back of 1 or 2 individuals.
Ruzica Jankic playing at her first major senior tournament, played 21 minutes against Russia, but only took 1 shot, had the greater responsibility playing half an hour here against Latvia, and finished with those 8 points. And you see what it means to those Croatian players. They win it 67 to 63. 3 players in double digits. Sliskovic 15, Mazic 13, Ivankovic 12 points and 10 rebounds for a double-double. The final score, Croatia 67, Latvia 63.